Test J, Section 2, Question 20. Gamba says, Munoz claims that the Southwest Hopeville Neighbors Association overwhelmingly opposes the new water system, citing this as evidence of citywide opposition. Okay, so Gamba is telling you Munoz's claim. Munoz says, well, the Southwest Hopeville Neighbors Association overwhelmingly opposes the new water system, and because of that, there is citywide opposition. I would ask how representative the Southwest Hopeville Neighbors Association is of the city. You know, if the city has 1 million people and this neighbors association has 5 people, then Munoz's argument isn't very strong. Gamba continues, the association did pass a resolution opposing the new water system, but only 25 of 350 members voted, with 10 in favor of the system. Wow, that does not sound like overwhelming opposition even among the Southwest Hopeville Neighbors Association. Really? There's 350 people in the association? 15 of them voted against and 10 of them voted for? It's pretty Trumpian to call that a landslide victory against this resolution, or sorry, against this water system. Gamba continues. So it sounds like Gamba is, questioning Munoz's evidence, right? Munoz's evidence was, well, Southwest Hopeville Neighbors Association overwhelmingly opposes the new water system, so the whole city must as well. Gamba's not even granting that the Neighbors Association overwhelmingly opposes the new water system, so it's an attack on Munoz's evidence. Furthermore, the 15 opposing votes represent far less than 1% of Hopeville's population. Now that was my initial thought, was how big is this Neighbors Association in relation to the entire city? Is it really representative? Gamba says, actually, a whopping 1% of the city's population voted against the water system. How can that be overwhelming? One should not assume that so few votes represent the view of the majority of Hopeville's residents. Stands to reason. Of the following, which one most accurately describes Gamba's strategy of argumentation? Okay, we call this a reasoning question. It's basically a variety of a must-be-true question. It's like a reading comprehension question. All they're asking here is, which one of these 5 things did Gamba for sure do? Gamba presented Munoz's argument. Gamba then attacked Munoz's evidence. That's my prediction. A, questioning a conclusion based on the results of a vote on the grounds that people with certain views are more likely to vote. Where did it do that? It didn't do that. It never talked about turnout or some people being more likely than others to vote. You can't pick that answer because it's not based in the evidence. It's a terrible answer. It's just not what Gamba did. B, questioning a claim supported by statistical data by arguing that statistical data can be manipulated. I don't need to read any more of that to know that it's wrong. I'm expecting the answer choices to be wrong. 4 out of 5 answers are wrong. Where did it talk about manipulation of statistics? Gamba didn't do that, so I don't need to read the rest of B. It's just out. C, attempting to refute an argument by showing that, contrary to what has been claimed, the truth of the premises does not guarantee the truth of the conclusion. It didn't do that either. What C is describing is when you say, hey, even if your premises are true, your premises don't justify your conclusion. That's not what Gamba did. Gamba said, actually, your premises aren't true. D, criticizing a view on the grounds that the view is based on evidence that is in principle impossible to disconfirm. Wow, again, these wrong answers, guys, are just so terrible. they don't even have to make sense. I think what D is describing is if you had said, oh, well, you're making a claim that is not possible to ever disprove. It's like as if, if you're talking about magic, or if you're, talking about like some supernatural thing, and you're like, oh no, it's because of magic. Well, that's not possible to disconfirm, which means you're talking nonsense. That's just not at all what Gamba did, though. E says, attempting to cast doubt on a conclusion by claiming that the statistical sample on which the conclusion is based is too small to be dependable. It absolutely did that. It said, hey, you only got 15 votes out of 350 members, and your 15 votes is only 1% of Hopeville's residents. That's complaining about too small of a sample. It's straightforward, right? E doesn't require any help to understand why that's the answer. It's the answer because that's what Gamba did.